on, guys? What's going on? What's going on? Are we live? Give me a 1 for live, guys. Give me a 1 for live. Yo, what's good? Give me a 1 for live. Hell yeah. First and foremost, shout out and a big happy birthday to Tommy Wood. Happy birthday, my brother. Everybody, salute Tommy Wood. Give him a big happy birthday. Hell yeah. That's right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know if you guys remember about a couple months ago, about it on a street where some dude came out and wanted to manhandle me because he didn't like who I was or what I was doing or what I was in the process of doing. So he ends up getting aggressive, and he broke my camera charging port because he put so much force into ripping the cord off my camera that he damaged the port on the inside where the charging port plugs into. So yeah, that was bad times. And I told them that I would go ahead and see if I can get the camera repaired, which I was in the process of finding different places that would give me different quotes. And the most of what I got was it can be fixed, but it might not work the same, or the camera would never be in its original state again. You know what I mean? So was I really willing to take that risk and just have the camera repaired, or my second option was to go back to that guy and see if he was willing to pretty much pay for the camera instead of paying for the damages. So shout out to Danny for standing up for his for being a man of his word, and he actually bought out the camera. So instead of paying for just the repairs, he actually paid me for the cost of the camera. Amazing. Hell yeah. Woo! That is amazing, guys. Hell yeah. I just got paid. It was just like working a whole week's work. I'm not playing. You see, it's a fat envelope. It's a fat envelope. Woo! No, but I am glad that he was a man of his word, and he said that he would take care of it no matter what it took. And so here it is, guys. Look at that. Suckers, you guys thought I wasn't going to take care of it. I knew it. For all you trolls out there that said I don't collect my debt. You know what I'm saying? Woo! Hell yeah. Today was a good day, guys. I just wanted to give you a quick update. I also have an updated video for you guys as well, so we'll get around to it. I'll update. I'll put up the video of that day, and then I'll put up the update as well. Little static video. But that's what's up, guys. You can't be out here letting people destroy our equipment and letting them get away with it. You know, enough is enough. You know what I mean? Enough is enough. You're not gonna put me in the hole. But that's about it, guys. Just wanted to give you a quick update and let you know, the situation was taken care of. So, and like I said, shout out to Danny that followed through. He was a man of his word, and he took care of it, And I even offered him to have the, I was willing to just have the camera repaired, and he went as far as saying, well, I just want to replace your camera. So shout out to him for doing the right thing. You know what I mean? And that's about it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hell yeah. But yeah, guys, today was a good day. I had to come out this way for work, and this is my one opportunity to stop by his shop and talk to him about it, man to man, And shout out to Tommy Wood for being there as well, to consolidate, you know what I mean? He's a consolidator, so, shout out to Tommy Wood for showing up and, helping out on his birthday, so big shout out to Tommy Wood, the consolidator. Yeah, but I do got a video for you guys, so like I said, I'll put that together and get it out for you guys so you can see the whole process from start to finish. There was no contingencies in place that don't allow me to speak about it or talk about it, so it's just a wash. It's just a wishy-wash, you know what I'm saying? Hey. Hell yeah, just on the road heading back now. Had to, like I said, guys, had to take care of business. Had to take care of business. So hopefully get my camera repaired or replaced now and get her back out there in action again, so I can get some good static videos. So that's about it. Appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me for a little bit. Like I said, just wanted anybody that was interested in that update, that's the update, and again, he apologized. You guys will hear him in the video. I try not to, put him too much in the video, but you could hear him saying, sorry for what happened and all that stuff. So even though he had to pay the cost, he was still trying to, man up and be a man of his word, and he still apologized at the end. So is that down? Hell yeah. Woo! Yes, sir. Hey man, I'd rather him man up and take care of business than me send another man to jail and ruin his life. You know what I mean? That's what it is, why would you want to ruin somebody's life? I wouldn't want somebody to send me to jail and ruin my life, This is just, me taking all things into consideration, and not ruining his life, and letting him make up for his mishaps, and like I said, which he did, he paid for the camera in full, instead of just paying for the repairs. So, shout out to our guy Danny out there. He's a man of his word, and we do appreciate, men and women of their word. That's better than sending somebody to jail and ruining their lives, making them criminals, felony charges, and it just ruins your reputation. The fact that he would have been put in handcuffs and hauled away like a criminal in front of his whole community right there, I think that was, worth every penny of it, for him not to have to go through that situation, you know what I mean? But I know, guys, nobody would ever do the same for me, but, it is what it is, guys. I'm not gonna be that guy, you know what I mean? It's, you gotta think about it, look in from the outside. You gotta look at the whole picture. So, I mean, hey, karma's a motherfucker, and if you don't have karma on your side, good luck. You know what I mean? Good luck. So, I believe in that. So, we take a loss, but we also take a win at the same time. You know what I mean? A lot of people wanted to see that guy go to jail, but, me, on the other hand, I have the final decision. I was the victim of a crime, you know what I mean? It's my final decision, no matter, what people say or what the outcome should have been. I created that outcome. So, and I decided to, give the guy a pass, even though, a lot of people, like I said, don't agree with. And we're back. These technical difficulties, guys. What can you do? You can't do nothing about it. I gotta figure out what I gotta do to resolve this YouTube live stream issue, because this thing is not reliable. It's not reliable. But yeah, like I asked, guys, you got, some people deserve it, some people just get lucky, and like I said, I'm sure if it was a reverse situation and I ripped his beanie off of his head, and if I ripped, his phone cords out of his phone, and I'm sure I wouldn't have got that same treatment, guys, but, it just goes to show him as an individual that people are a little bit better than others. Some people are better than, better minded than others, have a better head on their shoulder than, like I said, if it was him, if it was reversed, I would have been in jail. I would have got charged for everything, and, I would have been made the criminal. But, it is what it is, guys. What can you do, You got to pass, and like I said, at the end of the day, he paid for his mistake, and he paid in full, and that's what matters, He handled it, so we'll appreciate that. Now we get to move forward and move on to other things, you know what I mean? We don't have to worry about that anymore, and neither does he. He doesn't have to worry about it anymore, because everything's settled. So, it's kind of like us when we're facing, charges, and we don't know if they're going to file them or not. He was kind of, in a similar situation where he didn't know if charges would be filed or not, because, he was given a chance to take care of the issue, but he never heard from us in like 2 months. So, or he never heard from me like in 2 or 3 months. So he thought I just went away, but in reality, I just, I don't, I don't have time to just come out to San Diego randomly. You know, I gotta come out when I'm, you know, just in the area pretty much. I've been pretty busy in different areas, so like I said earlier, today was the day, the opportunity for me to stop through his shop and talk to him face to face and see if we could resolve this issue, and he went ahead and took care of it. So you know, and I just gave him the price for the body of the camera by itself, you know. So and like I said, instead of paying the repairs, he paid for, you know, the whole deal. So he didn't want to have to. He didn't want me to come back pretty much and, you know, tell him later on, hey, well, I got it repaired, but now it doesn't work. This function doesn't work, or it just doesn't work the same. You know, he just said, no, I just, you know, he wanted to make me whole, make sure my camera was, you know, paid in full, and that was it. So, shit. I'm not going to say no to that, guys, you know. He handled it, so. Like I said, shout out to him, and hopefully, you know, he learned. You know, it's a hard lesson to learn, guys, but you know what? Way, he definitely learned a hard lesson. You know, and the only benefit he got out of the whole thing is that he didn't get a criminal charge on his record. You know, and he didn't have to go face a judge for that. You know, so. Out of this whole situation, you know, I figured he got educated, and you know, I still feel even though he had to pay for it, I feel like he, you know, he got that pass and he still came up on top. If I look at it from the outside looking in, you know what I mean? Because this thing is whack, man. But like I said, guys, if it was me, if it was the reverse situation, I definitely probably would be taking the ride and end up with the criminal charges, you know. So yeah, it is what it is, guys. We can't just always, you know, be out here attacking each other. We gotta try to resolve the issue, you know, civilly before you even take it to civil court, you know. Some people won't even talk to you about it, just straight take you to civil court or take you to court, you know, like, gonna give you the opportunity to fix the problem. And that's a problem in its own, you know. You want to take somebody to court, but you don't want to try to resolve the issue beforehand. Yeah, that's an issue, you know, like, that's crazy. So anyways, guys, this live stream is the worst. I don't know what's up with YouTube these days, but I will talk to you guys again soon. I'm going to start uploading videos again instead of going live, so we'll have I got some uploads coming up for you guys. Stay tuned and be on the lookout for the next video, guys. SGV News First, and I'm out.